Hello, I'm Zane Bastila, and this is Geology of National Parks, my capstone project on Zion National Park. Zion National Park's Park Challenge is the number of visitors that it has every year. Zion National Park has the third highest number of visitors. Only the Great Smoky Mountain National Park and Grand Canyon National Park had more visitors. There were 4.49 million visitors compared to the previous year of 4.32, so it's growing every year. There were some of the trails in Zion that actually had counts of over 1,000 people per day on them. If you're making the trip from Brainerd, Minnesota to Zion, it is in Utah. It's about a 24-hour drive and a 6.5-hour flight, which you fly to St. George, Utah, and then you would have to rent a car and drive an hour up to the park. However, if you are taking the drive, that 24 hours on Google Maps is not accounting for stopping for fuel or for food or for lodging. So it is a long drive. Zion National Park is in the southwestern corner of the state, coming into the central part of the state, right up in this area. This is one of the... Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to move it. This is one of the arc of national parks that I recommend taking. You start with Arches National Park, and then you come to the little town of Moab. Moab is a very cool little town. It's kind of like a Nisswa. A lot of little shops, restaurants, places to stay, and it is also about the only town of any size until you get to St. George. So you come across this whole arc of parks to get to Zion, which is over here. Along the line of parks, after you go through Arches, there's also Capitol Reef, Canyonlands, Bryce Canyon, which is awesome to see also, and then Zion. If you are making that drive through the parks, America the Beautiful Pass is a great way to save some money. This is the way that we did it. We bought one of these passes, and the pass is good for all national parks across the U.S. So you can use it on this trip, and then you can use it on other trips. But it's good for 1 year, and it's good for admission to the park, along with all people in your vehicle, up to 4 adults. If you are taking that drive across, at a point you will turn on Highway 9, which is the Zion Mount Carmel Highway. And that takes you through Zion National Park to St. George. Along the way, there's many pull-offs that are really beautiful to see some of the different scenery along there. This is a really cool spot that I personally have the similar picture to this in my stuff. This is a cutout in one of the caves. So as you're driving through one of the tunnels, there's a pull-off that you can pull over and look at this, and there's a cutout in the side of the wall. However, if you can imagine driving 1,500 miles, 24 hours worth of driving, and then coming to a parking full sign upon arriving at Zion National Park, that would be pretty devastating. The National Park Service recommends not waiting for a spot to open, but continue driving to Springdale. They also say never park on vegetation or in a manner that blocks traffic. The main reason for this is because a lot of people that go to Zion do go for a whole day, so the chances of somebody leaving earlier to get a spot are very slim. Boy, what a devastating sign if you make all that way and see this. If you do park in Springdale, there's a charge for parking. However, there's a free shuttle that will take you back to Zion National Park. However, just a quick note here that the pay stub for parking is not a pass for the park, and vice versa. The park pass isn't a pass for parking. You have to get both separately. And also, if you have to park in Springdale, that means the America the Beautiful Pass that you have in your car won't work. So you'll have to get passes for each person to get into the park. The shuttle that takes you along the Zion Canyon from Springdale is a nice, quick, low ride. It does help relieve some of the stress of the parking issues. It's a quick ride, and they're pretty pretty user-friendly. However, once you get to the park, then you have to get in line at the visitor center and wait for a shuttle that will take you into the Narrows of the park. Sometimes you'll have to wait through several shuttles, and standing room is pretty common. Millions of people ride the free shuttle park every year. Busy times, you can wait more than an hour. However, it is worth it. There's a lot to see. The shuttle is, once you get on it, it's just a few minute drive up into the Narrows where they drop you off. They drop you off at this paved trail. Paved trail is good for people of all ages and abilities, handicap accessible. You can take a short walk up the trail to the Weeping Rock. It's a nice, quick little walk, and the Weeping Wall is really cool to see. The trail ends beneath an arc-shaped overhang on the wall in the canyon where the water falls from the rock like raindrops. That's your Weeping Wall. The Narrows is the narrowest part of the Zion Canyon, where the Virgin River waterfall comes through and cuts the canyon, and it's a really neat spot up in the canyon. Another sight to see in Zion are the Emerald Pools. There's 3 pools. There's the upper, middle, and lower. Trail starts at Zion Lodge, and it's a half-mile walk up to the lower Emerald Pools. And if you want to make the jaunt up to the middle pools, it's a little bit more of a climb. And going up to the highest pools is a little bit more for the advanced climbers. However, if you do like hiking and you do like the climbing, hiking in Zion is one of the most amazing things you'll ever do. There's a wide array of trails with a variety of difficulty levels. And there's a website that I have attached here for checking out a bunch of the different trails. Can you imagine this hiking along here, holding on to the chain along the edge? That just scares me. I don't think I could do it. But Zion is super beautiful. That's why it's my favorite national park. Just looking at this view. It's one of the national parks that has a lot of greenery and a lot of mountains and waterfalls. It's just gorgeous. But the main thing to take away from this is to pack your patience and plan ahead. There are a lot of people that visit this national park. Like I said, it's their 3rd most traveled national park. But if you plan right, get there early in the morning, you should be able to get a parking spot. You should be able to get up there. If you do the longer hikes, the longer hike you do, the less people you'll see. So just plan accordingly. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you guys had a good day.